Hey y'all, I'm I-78. Happy Thursday. We are live waiting for Donald Trump to appear in Pottersville, Michigan. As we know, that is going to be an important state in this upcoming election. He is due to speak about the economy and a host of other issues. So we are going to stay tuned and see what he has to say. Um, I personally am interested to see if he has any comments on this interview that's coming on tonight with Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz. This is really this is actually the first time that we have seen a interview conducted in this manner. So it is definitely going to be interesting, and I will be streaming that tonight as well. I hope all of you have been well over these last couple of days that I have been in the background, so to speak. I ain't gonna say MIA because I've been in the background. But hey Eric, how you doing? I appreciate you stopping by. For those of y'all who have been watching consistently, y'all know 98% of our Trump coverage does come from RSBN. We are watching with them again today, and it looks like we got two new anchors, child. They green. It show. I'm gonna let them talk for a minute so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, they a little green.
By RSBN, Right Side Broadcasting Network, or Pro Trump Network. You look like you could be a good candidate, sir. How are you? What's your name and where are you from? Tell us where you're from.
Eric Voter. I'm from La Crosse.
You're from where?
La Crosse.
La Crosse. So this is hometown for you.
Absolutely.
You will be in La
President
Crosse
Trump
later
coming to
on
La
this
Crosse. What does
evening.
this
We
mean
have
for this
that as
community?
well.
I think it's wonderful because I know it was a close one and we lost it in the last election. So him actually physically being here should help us out a lot.
It's huge. Now, give us a sense. So how does La Crosse, how large is it compared to Go Trump? That's right. How large of a town or city is La Crosse compared to other places in Wisconsin? Is it on the bigger side, small, medium?
It's on the bigger side. I mean, we're not Madison, we're not Milwaukee, but we are right up there in the top 5 in population. So it matters being here. And it's a very purple county. It's actually very important that he is here.
What does that
I
mean?
know this is you have a Democrat congressperson, is that correct, in this area? But obviously from the turnout today, you have quite a number of Trump supporters here in La Crosse. From speaking to voters, speaking to people who live here in La Crosse, what are the main issues that they're concerned about this election?
I think the biggest thing is the economy. Everything costs more. We look at our fuel prices, like to get those back under control. The cost of groceries. Immigration is a big thing too. We do have a lot of problems with people that are illegals or undocumented or however they like to call it in this area.
Asylum seekers.
Yeah, and I think we ought to be able to. We ought to need to take care of ourselves first. I mean, we came here today with my wife's uncle, who's actually a legal immigrant from Iran, and the process that he went through. It's kind of sad that other people are doing it, coming in through the back door, doing it illegally. And so I think security is a big issue too. And
I think Wisconsin is traditionally a red state, but I do think the whole C-19 is what made the difference last go around. So more than likely they will return to their roots, so to speak.
So it's like, yeah, bring more people in, make that tent bigger.
And you know what his slogan is, make America healthy again. So speaking about health, and obviously Kamala Harris has been very much opposed to private health care. She wanted she wanted to take away private health care when she was in the Senate. She was the most radical and most liberal senator I think we've ever had in this country. And you see it reflected in her economic policies. Her father used to be a Marxist professor for Berkeley. So you can see that influence on her and her decisions to, she's trying to implement price controls, and she thinks the solution to open borders and inflation is to ban price gouging, which doesn't even make sense if you think about it. So she is definitely a true radical, and now she's trying to pivot and make herself seem more moderate. But in reality, we all know her for what she truly is, her true colors.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of healthcare freedom, people take care of people, and to actually take away people's ability to have private health care, to me, is crazy. Yeah, and
then also she wants illegal aliens to vote. I mean, she wants to hand out these people driver's licenses. They want these people to be voting in our elections. That's the way they could rig our elections again. So many serious issues if she gets in there, and our country would be in a very rough position. But I think, many Americans have woken up or are waking up. I mean, we're down 2 months left now until election day. What do you think is for this final stretch? How do we reach out to Wisconsin voters specifically?
Honestly, I just think people need to talk to their friends, because I have people that are on the other side of the aisle, so to speak, very cordial with them. And I think we need, in a friendly, loving way, to ask them what they want for the future. Do we want this country to get better, get back to, honestly, what I call normalcy, and get away from some of the craziness, and actually reprioritize? Let's do the things that are important, that makes everyone safer and more economically free, and we can each live our lives and be happy.
That's all we want, just a return to normalcy. And I think that's a wonderful advice. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us today. You're a wonderful guy. And the people of Wisconsin, some of the nicest people I've ever met. They are really wonderful people. You're a great man. Thank you so much, sir.
Amazing. Okay, y'all, so this is what's happening on the streets.
Actually, I want to talk about how beautiful so many conservatives are. Have you noticed that?
They are, truly.
Really good-looking people over here on the right side.
Well, that's because they believe in God and they believe in truth. And that makes you beautiful inside and out.
And we're healthy and we take care of our skin.
That's true.
Great skincare.
Absolutely.
Speaking of skincare, Angel Paste Miracle Cream transforms the health of your skin.
This sponsors coming
Not
from
only
everywhere.
is it made in Spring, Texas, but everything is sourced in the USA. And Angel Paste also sticks to America first by hiring veterans. Love that. It's unlike any other cream on the market. It contains 0 chemicals and hydrates your skin without feeling greasy. Many customers have reported younger looking skin, fewer wrinkles, lightening of age spots, and healing of burns and bruises. Get the miracle cream everyone's talking about, Angel Paste Miracle Cream.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Listen, y'all, if y'all gonna be running commercials, y'all gonna have to try to memorize these or something. At least, saying the first couple lines. Y'all can't just be like this straight reading from the phone. Y'all gotta come on with all of that. Y'all got to do just a little bit better. But you do make a good point, Eric, about there being some major Democrats. But I don't, at this point, like I said, I think C-19 was the biggest factor. So now that that's off the table, I don't think that they're gonna have as easy a time. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be the case. But child, these folks is out. Let's see what this lady got to say.
So what are the huge issues that really matter to you and your friends and family?
For the two in my life, it would be the economic conditions that our country's in right now, and for sure the illegal immigration. We need immigration reform. We need to lock down our borders.
Absolutely. Is it affecting your community specifically, the open borders?
It does. It affects the wages that our people earning. It affects your mental capacity of thinking, why is this fair to them? And we're not getting all of this as well. So there just isn't right. There's a difference between right and wrong.
Right. And what would you like to see as far as economic policies for President Trump? What are you excited about for that?
Let's just watch the giveaways and the free stuff that is out there, because nothing is free. We all know that. So enough of the people having to foot the bill for the ones that don't want to get up and do the work.
Yeah, absolutely. And about the tax.
I think it's unfair that the way that they're doing it right now. We all want to participate and share, but we don't want to be told how to do it unless it's for everybody.
Right. And
oh Lord, we'll go with the chance.
We love those people. Yeah. These are all your friends around here.
Yeah, we made friends here today.
That's great.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of this all day long.
Yeah, and we felt it on our drive down too. Yeah, that's just great. Listening to our battle songs.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Is there any other message you want to give out to the American people?
Just please vote red. We have to vote red, or we're going to lose our country. It's one of those things where the policies are not in our favor any longer. The Democrats forgot what a Democrat was like. The Republicans are the only ones who can save it. Otherwise, we are going to be in the tank, and then hello, communism.
Right. Mm-hmm. Vote often and vote early.
Vote often and vote early, but vote red. It's got to be the Trumpy Vance ticket. It has to be.
Has to be.
Trumpeter. All day long.
All day.
All
Thank
day,
you so
every
much
day.
for interviewing with
Well,
us.
she didn't sound radical
Thank you.
and, and hateful and racist.
She's awesome.
Oh, shaking.
She's amazing. I need to know who her dentist is. She has really white teeth. Amazing.
Wow.
And how about over here, guys?
So we got our friends over here. We got Dylan and Bailey, right?
Yep.
Wisconsin natives. They've been to a few Trump events rather in the past.
One thing I
and they're
do
here again.
have
They're
to
excited
say,
to see the 47.
These Trump events consistently do not start on time. They are consistent with that. Like for real. They are consistent with that not being on time situation.
We're just really excited to see the president today. I can't wait for him to get here.
What would you say to that? Same thing?
Oh, yeah, same thing. We've been running the channel together. And like I said, we've known each other since kindergarten. So we've been pretty much lifelong friends. And, so subscribe to Curtsy28 on YouTube.
Excellent. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of young people who watch your YouTube channel. I'm sure you cover politics, probably cover a lot of different things. What is it? What is it about President Trump? Do you see a lot of young people coming to his corner? And if so, what issues resonate with him? I know he's doing a lot of podcasts now, a lot of popular shows. So obviously, I think the young people are on President Trump's side, especially young men. But what do you guys see?
I mean, you just took the words out of my mouth. Young people are going towards him. They know that the economy was way better when he was president. He has a plan to tackle the housing crisis with how bad the prices are. And a lot of young people, especially like people like us, we're looking for a home and we can't afford one. So that's a big issue for people, our generation, Gen Z. And like you said, specifically, young men are gravitating more towards the president, doing things like interviews with Jake Paul or Logan Paul or whoever it was, going to UFC events. So I think doing stuff like that really appeals to younger guys like us. And I mean, Donald Trump's on TikTok. He's reaching out to the younger audiences on there. It makes sense. And I think more people gravitate towards him because they realize under President
Welcome,
Trump,
Evelyn. How are you?
The world was almost stable. He didn't start any new wars. He's the one that brought foreign relations. And, he kept China in check. He kept Russia in check. He kept North Korea in check. And I think people strive to want that stability back because the last thing we need right now is another world war, a confrontation with China. I think people realize Donald Trump is the piece that we need in this world.
Amazing answer. You guys are very well informed, and that's true. His you look at his TikTok channel compared to hers, millions of more viewers. He did that interview with Theo Von recently. He's been making the rounds on all these podcasts. If you guys had a chance, because I know this is a town hall today, and we can walk up a little bit if you want to. Is that all right if we just walk up? Because I know the line's moving. But if you had a chance.
Oh, awesome, Evelyn. You too. Thank you for stopping by. Make sure you have your notifications on.
To ask President Trump a question today, what would the question be?
Okay, I'm having some issues. So I'm sure they do a good job. They'll be right back. What happened? Y'all come on. Let's see. Okay. Let me check and see. if there is anybody else who is streaming this. Give me 1 second, y'all. It's just one damn thing. Yeah, shut up. Oh. Oh, let's see. Nope. Ain't got it together yet. Let's see. Let's see. Yep. All right. So we got Fox News. Let's see what they talking about. Say about them jobs. Okay. There'll be a whole lot of editing going on thanks to this. Okay, y'all. Well, while we are waiting, I just came across this piece of news. According to Newsmax, they are saying that the Trump campaign reportedly is prepared to pass on receiving transition help from the Federal General Services Administration, or the GSA, in anticipation of Donald Trump winning the November election. According to Newsmax, the GSA normally plays a role in the transition from one administration to the other. It provides office space, technology, and other back-end support that can be critical to a presidential transition operation. Yeah, Trump saying that fuck that. I don't need none of that. But it makes sense to me. I get why he would say no. Um, yeah, I can see why he would say no to that. Yeah, Trump said thanks, but no thanks. I can get it done on my own. Mm-mm. Okay, so you're saying the Trump campaign has concerns about working with GSA. First one is accepting GSA's help means adhering to $5,000 per donor contribution limits and funding overall costs that can exceed $10 million. Yeah, child. Yeah, Trump be losing money because these people was giving him money hand over fist. Listen, yeah, he don't need y'all. He don't need y'all none at all. Yeah, so it's a $5,000 per person limit. Yeah, um, and saying the second reason, Politico reports that Trump's team does not trust the GSA after what it experienced in 2016 when there were leaks of potential administration hires and widespread dismay with the agency's decision to hand over transition records to Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Yeah, I understand why he like, I'm good. I am good. Mm-mm. Yeah, Trump said, I don't need none of y'all help. I'll do it myself. Mm, mm. I get it. Crap. Y'all need to come on. Yeah, whole half hour. Oh, that's in Washington Post. It's going to start his lacrosse coverage around 6:30. So we'll be in there somewhere around there, see what's going on. Hey MC, what's going on? They late as usual, so we just kind of kicking it till they come on. Now, yeah, you might want to hurry up because Vice President Harris is in Savannah. That's supposed to start around 5:30 ish. I'm trying to squeeze that in as well. But we will definitely have the CNN interview at 9 o'clock tonight. That's guaranteed. Only way that ain't happening is I ain't breathing at 9 o'clock. And if you think of Donald Trump up in here, hey, that's what's up. Okay. It sounds like she said it might be hot up in there. Ah, okay, well, who was gonna say something? Jabra play. We thought you was getting ready to speak. Yeah, it's like JD Dance was he made a speech earlier today. I'll go back and see what he was talking about on there and give y'all an update. Hell, not that grease. I got chill. Come on. It's electrified. Okay. Okay. Now folks watching their kids. That's why I just read this article about this 4-year-old that knocked over a ancient artifact in the museum. So there's nobody watching her. Child, that just sounds good right now, y'all. Why advertising for clothes?
People don't even know what that means. That
It's so out of order. Hey, hey, Toto. How you doing? They're running way behind. I don't know what's going on, but they're running way behind. Mm. Hey. Mm, Okay. sorry. Stop with the road rage. Hold on, I see. Oh no, the regular men with suits on. All right, y'all. This what we gonna do. We get ready to pop over. We gonna see what close friend of the channel, BB Israel, talked about real quick till they come on. When Trump come on, we will be back to our regular scheduled program. But right now, we're gonna pop in and see what BB talks about. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I remind you of your Jeep. Okay. Something like my sound. Yes. All right, what we being talked about right here? This EV.
Hope everybody's doing well. This is going to be a quick one because I don't have enough charge on my phone to make this a lengthy one. But I want to talk about this. I've talked about this topic before, but so this is going to kind of be revisiting it. Honestly, I get tired of talking about these topics, but I know a lot of people are new to my platform, new to the channel, and you may have missed out on some things that should be standard by now. So we got to every now and then go back and revisit, bring you up to speed on it, right? So, communication. I talk about communication between men and women all the time. And the purpose of my channel is to wake enough people up. I want black men and black women to be together so we can rebuild this community, get out this captivity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? That's my goal.
You missed the rant yesterday, Derek.
Conversations. And y'all know it's
coming on tonight
over here with me. I don't sugarcoat nothing.
I sent you the link. She had a rant yesterday.
Sugarcoat nothing. Right? Some of this conversation is gonna make some of you angry, ladies. I'm gonna let you know now. Put your big girl panties on. Remember, the truth, the medicine is a double-edged sword. It's gonna cut you going in, cut you coming out. It ain't to hurt your feelings. It's not to upset you, or it's not an attack on you, or none of that shit. Trying to solve a problem because there's a disconnect. And what I see the disconnect as being, ladies, you lovely ladies, you all see the world through your feelings. Everything is feelings, feelings, feelings. And men don't give a fuck about your feelings. That's the truth. What men care about is your actions, your behaviors, what you mean, not what you feel. Because your feelings are only real to you, and they only matter to you. And nobody else's feelings matter. Only yours matter. Right? So we got to have this conversation. Oh, Amanaz just gave me some charge, so obviously she wants this conversation to go a little bit longer than I planned it going. So we're going to rock the mic. We plugged in, y'all. My lazy ass could have got up and got my cable. I got a 10-foot cable. I could have went and got it. But she gave me the assist. Shout out to Amanaz, lady. She's my co-host. She is in the chat. And she says with her signature, "Hey, y'all." She in the chat, y'all. She is in the chat. I didn't know she was here. I thought she was doing some editing or something. All right. So we good. I thought she was working on her channel. So anyway, it's going to be a tough conversation. Now that I got the green light to go longer, some of y'all ain't going to you're going to be mad at me. I'm letting you know now. I'm letting you know now. And what's funny?
I am. We watching you until Trump come on.
What time Trump come on?
He's supposed to already been on, but they late. So we watching you till he come on.
All right, let me know. So you streaming, you simulcasting? All right, we're simulcasting, not just on the People's Podcast. Shout out to Amanon 78 channel people. Shout out to y'all. Wait, what's up, y'all? Garrett Gaines, what's up? EMJ, what's up? I know y'all over here. Well, over there, we in the house though. We gonna rock this out. We're gonna rock this out. So, trying to think how I want to approach this conversation. It's a conversation that needs to be had. I haven't worked it all out in my head. I just know I need to talk about it. Y'all know I'm the people's champ. That's how I do. I ain't got no script. I ain't got no teleprompter. Y'all know y'all boy just go right off the dome and be in the zone with them bars. Shout out to Harry Mack. Shout out to Harry Mack over in the Lowlands. All right. Y'all know who Harry Mack is, right? He's the bar god. The greatest freestyler I've ever seen. Harry Mack, man. He's the truth. But anyway. So I was in the conversation. Young lady says, and I'm going to tell this story from first person. I really miss you. I can't wait to be alone with you. Okay. What does he, ladies, y'all speak? Again, that's the feelings talk. You're not saying nothing. Men hear nothing. You haven't told me nothing you're gonna do. It's all your feelings right there wrapped up in that. So we got to try to interpret and decipher what you mean. So, what you mean? Huh? I don't recall. Shout out to Lil Woody. Shout out to Lil Woody down in Atlanta in the ATL. What do you mean, ladies? So then men are going to dig deeper. We're going to try to peel the layer back. Well, what do you want to do with me when you're alone? What do you plan on doing with me when you're alone? Now, see, because they're not used to going below the surface. It makes women very uncomfortable when you peel layers back and you start making them explain these vague statements that they say. When you make them think or have to communicate beyond feelings. See, they love vague words and phrases. Some of you are hearing right now, oh, he's a misogynist. Haven't said anything misogynistic. But that's the deflection you do when you hear things you don't like. I mean, is that fair to say, ladies? I mean, let me know. Am I attacking anybody right now? Am I being misogynistic right now? Somebody let me know in the chat if I'm good to go. Because I get tired of that feedback. That's bullshit and that's dismissive, and you miss the whole conversation. And then you wonder why you have fucked up relationships because men have been saying things to y'all all my life and you dismiss them. Act like y'all don't even hear us. And then, why men don't tell us? Right. So I'm waiting for the confirmation. I got the green light. I get a thumbs up. Somebody let me know. I know it's ladies, man, because look, more than half of my channel is ladies now. The ladies love Cool V. Trying to make America great over here, man. Y'all got to rock with me. Y'all got to rock with me. And my Spartans, when y'all come into the house. Oh, man, wait a minute. How y'all let me forget to give the disclaimer? If you don't want to be here, don't be here. Move around. Plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. Find something that's closer to your taste buds, your liking, your sensibility, that makes you warm and fuzzy on the inside. Right? Find your category of porn, you know. Whatever, however you want to do it. And I tried texting or emailing or typing these things out over the years, but things get lost in translations, especially when you're talking feelings versus facts, you know, those kind of things. Feelings over, versus actions. It gets they'll read one word they don't like and throw the whole post out the window. They throw the baby out with the bathwater. Right? Somebody asked me, I don't understand. What does that mean? Why would you throw the bathwater out the window or the door? So y'all don't know your history. At some point in a very not so distant past, we didn't have indoor plumbing here in our houses. So when they were washing the baby, it was usually in a portable tub, little tin tub, whatever. You can still buy these tubs, by the way. Usually you see them at like Arbor Freight and Tractor Supply stores. Anyway, you had to throw the water out. You got to get the water out the house, so you throw it out the window or you throw it out the front door. That's what it means you don't want to leave the baby inside that little tin and throw everything out, the water and the baby together, okay? That's what that means. For y'all who don't understand history, you slow folks, simpletons. So, ain't nobody confirmed or denied. So I'm going to assume I have not been misogynistic. I am going to assume so far we are good to go. I don't care about your feelings and your sensibilities, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm talking in my normal voice. I'm not screaming. I'm not shouting. I'm not angry. Actually, I'm in a pretty damn good mood, actually. So, but y'all hear things in a text message that ain't there. You put your own feelings into words. I don't know if any of you ever seen the skit by Key and Peele, where they were texting back and forth and they totally misinterpreted each other, and the Key ends up showing up at the bar with a spiked bat. He was so angry, and Peele was just like, "Hey, buddy, first round is on me." If you've never seen that skit, go on to YouTube and search Key and Peele texting, and you'll see that skit. That's what a lot of you do. Y'all put your own meaning into what people are saying. And you do it in real life, but you definitely do it in texting, in reading. Right? Right? So, my question was, what do you plan to do? What happens in you ladies, because you're always in your feelings, because you're selfish and you have to be honest about it, everything is about you. What you want, what you need, what you want to have happen, your aspirations, your dreams, and y'all live in these fantasies, and you want a man to fulfill your idea of a fantasy. That's Disney. Disney did that to y'all. They started selling these ideas to you in the 70s on romance and intimacy and marriage and relationships, and it got y'all screwed up to the point where this is the difference between your grandmothers and you. Grandma thought, what am I going to do for this relationship? Y'all think in modern day, what is this man going to do for me? That's the difference. And it comes out in everything y'all say and do. So immediately the young lady she went to, well, I want romance. How does me asking you, again, you said you miss me, you want to see me, you can't wait to be alone with me. And I asked, what are you going to do once you are alone with me? And you immediately go to, I want romance. The fuck that got to do with me? I mean, really. Now, more context. Both of us are over 40 years.
Still waiting on Trump, y'all.
Let me give you a little clue, ladies. Men, 40-year-old plus men ain't looking for fun. We ain't looking for romance. Most men aren't, but definitely older men. We've played that game. We've jumped through those hoops for 20 plus years in all our adult lives. And it got us nowhere. It got us nowhere. Because we thought you were going to be happy once we jumped through those hoops and planned that romantic dinner and candlelit, and or we took you out to your favorite restaurant and you got dressed up, and or you put your favorite lingerie on. And first of all, I hate lingerie. First of all, it's a waste of fucking time and money, and it really don't make you look sexy. It make you look silly to me. That's my personal belief. You want to be sexy to me? Put some sweatpants on, a wife beater. That's sexy as shit, ladies. Put your hair in a ponytail or wrap it up. That's sexy to me. Don't waste your money on no lingerie.
Y'all agree? Let me know.
I'm not that dude now.
Take heed.
Maybe there are men out here, I'm sure there are, who like that and get turned
on
on by that.
Israel while we waiting for Trump because they are running behind.
This bitch done wasted her money. She done wasted my money. Amanaz just said something. I heard her. I don't know if y'all heard her, but what she's saying is we're waiting for Trump. So we're using VBN Israel, the People's Champ, to fill that time slot. So I'm a little filler for y'all. I'm an opening act for Trump. I didn't even intend. I just happened to have his hat on. I ain't even intend on being that. But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. So, and I'm saying these things again, ladies, not to hurt your feelings. And not to offend you, not to attack you. I'm trying to help you. Stop asking men what they do for fun, because what men do for fun don't have nothing to do with y'all. No man goes, oh, I want to do some fun shit. Let me call this girl up. Let me call my girl up. What men think is fun and what y'all think is fun is two different things. I'm gonna go play basketball. I'm gonna go shoot some pool. Now I know women who shoot pool, but generally speaking, most women don't. I'm gonna go to the sports bar. I'm gonna go to Dave and Buster's and watch the game with the fellas. Or men, when men have fun, they typically do it with their homeboys or by themselves. Y'all don't add fun to the equation. Y'all aren't fun to us. Because most of the time, what y'all think is fun ain't fun. I'm sorry. And this is true from when we're little boys all the way to grown-ass men. Y'all find men entertaining and fun and all of that. We don't get that from y'all. So we find other ways to entertain ourselves and have fun.
Okay, good to know, man. Good
Stop
to know. So it's basically more
when you
for
ask,
each man. Well, he did
when
say
you
to
ask
him
a man what he,
in his
especially in the beginning.
Yeah. So
y'all
ladies,
ask, well, what you
figure out what your man
you're
like.
really trying to find out is
figure out what your man like.
Where you can inject yourself into his life. So he's gonna say, yeah, I watch football, but and you're gonna, then you get off on that topic. Now he got to include you in the football shit, where he probably would not have, unless you happen to be one of those ladies who are a diehard football fan. That's different. I'm not talking about that. A lot of you ladies are new football fans, and it's cool to watch football now, but you ain't been watching football all your life. Y'all got that lie. Well, I've been watching football with my daddy, and no, the fuck you wasn't. Don't y'all realize y'all tell the same lie? All of y'all follow the same playbook. Don't y'all realize that? Because most of the time, your daddy wasn't watching football by himself. He was watching football with the fellas on Sunday or whatever, or Saturday. And if he was watching it by himself, he damn sure ain't want you in there asking him a bunch of questions, bothering him. He wanted his peace. Remember, I try to tell y'all, I'm telling y'all this to help your relationship. What men want from women is peace. Forget the fit, feminine, friendly. Forget that shit. What men want, the majority of men, what we want is peace, cooperation, and good head. Now, those things are customizable for each man. So you got to stop trying to figure all men out because we're not a monolith. Use that template and the man you want, find out how those things can be customized to him. Right? All men have different degrees of how they just don't interrupt his peace. We don't want you to bring us peace. It's not a problem you have to solve. Men are the problem solvers. We don't want y'all, get out your masculine energy, as Kevin would say, put your dick up. We don't want you to solve a problem unless we ask you to. Don't proactively try to solve some shit ain't nobody asked you to get involved in. That's you micromanaging. That's you trying to inject usurp authority and all of those kind of stuff. Because then when a man asks you to do some simple shit, you got all this pushback, you got all this mouth. So you can't have it both ways. Just don't interrupt a man. A man should be peaceful when you meet him. He should have peace. He should have things he does to maintain his peace. Don't interrupt him. Don't fuck with him. And a good movie to watch that I usually bring up to explain that during these conversations is the one with Morris Chestnut and Taraji P. Henson. What is that? Not Easily Broken. Okay. Dave had a thing he would do to get his peace. So Dave would like to coach sports because he wanted to be a father and he wasn't. So he liked to coach sports. That was his peace. That was his peaceful place. Also, he liked to listen to music. He liked to sit in his recliner, put his headphones on, and zone the fuck out to his jazz or whatever. Don't interrupt him. Now, some of you ladies are going to be smart. Well, what if the house is burning down? Give y'all my angry man stare. Not even going to respond. But I know what y'all thinking because I've done this before. I'm not new to this. What we got here? We got somebody dropping. Ant is in the house, y'all. Ant is in the house. What does he say? Let's try to read this shit. At this stage of my life, and this is a man that's 40 plus, I'm not going to tell his age. Wait a minute, I didn't even introduce him correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my soldiers in the house, one of my Spartans, Ant from the bricks. What is your profession? And he says, I want peace. Did I just tell y'all that? Cooperation. And what? And a lot to shut the fuck up. And y'all can read the rest. I'm struggling. Don't forget the good head, Ant. You got to have good head in there. But he just proved my point. He just proved what I said to y'all a couple of minutes earlier before he got here. He proved my point. Peace, cooperation, good head. Don't interrupt his peace. Don't inject yourself in that shit. Maybe he goes bowling to get his stress off. That ain't, again, that's not fun. That's enjoyable. That's peaceful. We don't want, because y'all going to see that as, oh, he does that for fun. I want to go play too. And then y'all want to hop in the fucking car. Now you fucking it up. Now you fucking it up. That quickly. Maybe he want to go to the park to shoot hoops. I had a girlfriend in college that was like that. I always played ball, and she would want to ride with me so she could walk around the track. Well, I might get on a roll, like in my squad, we might be winning. So I might be out there a little bit to dark. You know what I'm saying? Or past dark, because they had lights on the court down in Orangeburg. Shout out to Wilkinson High School. Might have they had lights on the court. So I might be out there a while. I don't need you. You done walked your 2 laps and now you ready to go. And now you want to take my car home and come back and pick me up, or can you ride home with somebody else? No, you should have fucking went walking on your own. Ain't nobody asked you to come out here. It's my time. But I just thought we could do this together. No, I play ball by myself. You don't play ball. Now, if you're a baller, That's different. That's on some love and basketball shit. We can get on that because then we doing it together. We both have that interest. Like if we both football fans, you organically like football, so we can share that, and then it becomes fun. But I don't need you to have fun. I can have fun whether you're there or not. That's the point. So, cooperation. Cooperation goes into a lot of things. One of the biggest things of cooperation is good communication. Good communication isn't using a lot of words, ladies. It's getting to the fucking point. Simply, quickly, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. See, women, y'all over communicate. You use more words than you have to. You can't just answer questions simply. And then y'all end up deflecting and rephrasing and restating and answering some other question nobody asked. And that's it pisses men off. Whether we say that or not, or whether we're visibly pissed off or not, trust me. The Bible talks about dinning, D-I-N-N-I-N-G, dinning. Dinning is a repetitive, annoying sound. And that's what y'all do. Y'all constantly repeat yourself, especially when you're in an argument. You got annoying sounds that you all do, and it's to piss a man off. The snapping of fingers, the clapping, the let me tell you something, boo-boo. All of that shit. Shout out to Lil Rel. Right? Lil Rel does that impersonation of women very good. Shout out to Lil Rel. But all of that shit is dinning. And you just repeat yourselves. It becomes a circular argument. Just repeat yourself over and over and over. Same, just repeat. And then it's a vague, usually it's vague, it don't mean nothing. So we'll ask you what you mean, like I did her. What do you mean by romance? Well, romance should be a natural thing. Okay. Nobody said it shouldn't. That doesn't answer my question. What do you mean by romance? She ends up saying, I don't know what romance means, and nor have I ever had it. So you've never had this thing that you want, and you can't describe what it is, but somehow you know you want it? That makes no sense. That's absolutely crazy to men. You've never had this thing, but you know you want it, and you can't describe it. Even if you don't know its proper terminology, you can't describe it other than calling it romance. I don't know what you mean. You could ask 10 women what romance is. You get 10 different answers. It doesn't mean, it's one of them words y'all use that don't mean shit to us. It don't mean a damn thing. Y'all have these vague statements because that's what your feelings are. It's a belief. According to Oxford Dictionary, it's a belief. Especially, and Oxford goes back beyond Webster's, people. For you smart asses who want to try to fact check me and look it up. That ain't what it say. Go look at Oxford. Etymological dictionary. So anyway, it's a belief, especially a vague or irrational one. That's what y'all is saying. You're vague. We don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's irrational. It makes no sense. Huh? I don't recall. What you mean? Huh? Ann says something else. He says, anyway. When you're around too much of these broads, I think, complaining about that, yeah. And you know I'm blind and I'm not on Streamyard where I can zoom in. I'm on YouTube and it's really small for me. But I'm struggling to read you. I ain't saying it's good to see you, brother. Seeing you in a while, man. Seeing you in a while. Great to have you back. I hope I'm making sense to you, ladies. You're vague and a lot of times y'all do it on purpose because you don't want to be held accountable for your words. Y'all do it just instinctively. It's always about deflecting, avoiding accountability, and playing out fucking with a man. Y'all learn how to do that when you little girls. I used to see my daughters fuck with their brothers just for the sake of doing it. I would sit there and just watch them do it. It's the Lucy and Charlie Brown effect. You know, Lucy is never going to let Charlie Brown kick that football. Ever. And Charlie Brown's going to try to kick it every time. But men are starting to wake up. And men are no longer playing the kick the football game with Lucy. They saying, fuck Lucy. That's the difference. It's a paradigm shift in today's world with today's men. Men are no longer playing football.
Yeah, we still waiting.
That's what's happening. And then y'all wonder, where did all the men go? Right? I'm trying to shortcut some shit to y'all. If you want to fix things, that means you're gonna have to make some adjustments, ladies. It is what it is. Men have been adjusting to you all of their lives. Everything a man do, he thinks, and we've been trained and bred to think, especially black men, what the woman is gonna think. How we get a haircut, what kind of car we buy, what kind of clothes we rock, what kind of shoes we get, where we going to eat, what kind of cologne I put on. Men, how I speak, how I walk. Men think about what women are gonna think all the time. So now it's time for y'all to start thinking about what men want. Because most of y'all have never done it. What I'm saying to you is foreign. And that's why this young lady, what I said to her was foreign. It went right over her head. And that's why she deflected when I said, what are you going to do when you have me alone? What are you going to do? Since you miss me so much, what are you going to do? I want to hear actions. I want romance.
Okay, so ladies, basically what he's saying is when you break all of that out, go ahead and get descriptive. Go ahead and get descriptive.
When you in that situation,
and knock out any opportunity for misunderstanding.
Stop rephrasing the question into what you want to be.
Help on that.
What you want to be is about you because you're selfish. It's okay. Most of y'all women are selfish. It's all about you and you're the hero. Remember the stream I did? It's not my first time talking about this, ladies. I've done hundreds of podcasts with this topic.
What to do.
Or some variation of it over the years. For those of you who are new to this channel, this is not a new conversation. I've been trying to help y'all. But this is why your relations, and you get frustrated because what you want to happen, so you don't see me, you finally get me alone, and in your mind, what's supposed to be happening is some romantic shit. Now I got to do something. In my mind, you said you missed me. So you should be doing something for me, according to your statement. Or is it that you miss me doing shit for you? Is that what you really miss? Well, then say that. Well, what I mean by I miss you is I like how you cook. I like, when you do this and it's so romantic that I can go with that. Okay, cool. Then I'll do more of that. Not a problem. But now we talking actions. Right? But she immediately flipped it to what she wants about her. And then you can't even tell me this hoop I got to jump through. And a lot of y'all play this game because you like men to just jump through random. Well, figure it out kind of thing. No, men ain't doing that no more. You be direct up front. Tell me what the fuck you want up front so I can do it or decide not to do it because that's what y'all want for us. Y'all don't want men to surprise y'all with shit. You want to know up front from men. And so you have a choice on whether to do it or not. Why not? Why can't you give men the same respect? See that double standard y'all have, ladies? But you want equality, right? That's why I tell you, they don't want feminism. They want womanism. Womanism is always having leverage. Feminism is about equality. They don't want equality. They want to always have leverage over a man. And it's manipulative. Why can't you just say? And there are women out here who will come out front and just say things straight up to you. Especially knowing, peace, cooperation, and good head. Those women who understand that, because there are women who understand that without me saying nothing to them. They get that. And they understand that's what a man wants. That's what they're going to try to do, because they want to try to secure that relationship. Now, they may bait and switch and become something else later, but initially they understand. Right? I've heard them. I've heard women in that same scenario. They go, "Oh, I miss you so much. Well, I can't wait to see you. Oh, for real? What you gonna do when you see me? Well, I'm gonna suck the soul out your ass. Oh shit." I've had women respond that way. That's a great answer. Because then my follow-up is, so I'm gonna rephrase the question, and I did. What are you willing and eager to do for the man you want? So, remember, I've been telling y'all to ask that question. Stop asking what you bring to the table, because that's a triggering thing. Instead, fellas, ask, what are you willing and eager to do for the man you say you want?
Hello.
See, that man may not be you, but let her tell you. Let her answer the question. And then when she gets it out, well, how come you don't do those things for me? Because you're not the man she wants. That's the answer to the question. Because you're gonna ask yourself, well, damn, all of that sounds great. How come you never did none of that for me? Because you're not the man she wants. But if she finds the man she wants, she's gonna do all of that. She's gonna remove all of the barricades. Trust me. Trust me on that. That's why some men pay up front and some men don't. Some men get it for free up front.
You spit facts.
At some point. But y'all men wondering why you got to pay a higher price than the other man, because you're not the man she really wanted. It happens. It's okay. Because you might not be the woman I really want. That happens. But I'm dealing with you because there's things I do like about you. But you may not be my ideal woman. And I might let another woman slide with some shit. And it ain't so much about beauty. Then it just, you as an individual. I mean, you just got the right combination of shit that sits right with me. You know, your personality, your looks, blah, 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 your sex game, your head game, all that. The right combination of all of that shit. You know? And I let you slide with some shit that somebody else ain't getting. I wouldn't let them slide 1 second with it. Now that sassiness, I really don't play none of them games. So none of y'all I don't like that little slick sassiness. Girl tried to be sassy with me about a month ago out somewhere, and we was talking or whatever. I didn't know her, but we all was like kind of like talking. I'm trying to remember what it was. But anyway, and her sassiness came out. And she said, I said, I don't do that sassiness. So I'm going to go ahead and step off because I don't play that game. I don't play that game. Oh, you're rude. No, you're being rude. I'm not being rude. I'm just being straight up with you. I'm just letting you know where the line is. That's not me being rude. I was talking just like I'm talking right here. That's me just letting you know what's up. First of all, you ain't cute enough to have that attitude. First of all. Let's go there. So I don't know what little town you from in America, and they got you gassed up and thinking you the shit. But here in Charlotte, you ain't. This chick was a 4 at best. She wasn't even average at best. She was slightly below average. She wasn't ugly. Of course, she wasn't ugly. She had a nice little shape. But I don't like women who got miscolored lips. Like one lip is darker than the other. I don't like that. I like even lips. But that's just me. That's because I like lips. So when I see women like that, that's something that would annoy me. When you got them miscolored lips, you ain't even. So anyway. So now I still never got the answer to this question because what happens initially, and I said it, they get pissed off and they get frustrated because you're forcing them to answer a question that they don't want to answer. So they get frustrated, they shut the conversation down, they stop texting, they stop responding. And I'll say so. I call them out on it. Why you ain't responding? You frustrated? Just answer the fucking question. What you gonna do? You started this conversation. I didn't start the conversation. You started the conversation. But see, they used to be able to say that vague bullshit, and men accept that, and men don't know what the fuck they mean. We make assumptions, and then when they show up and don't drop that neck, we get frustrated. Like, what the fuck you? Why you come? Why you come over here if you ain't planning on dropping that neck? Oh, that's all you think about? That's all y'all men. See, then that conversation come out. You goddamn right. I tell y'all that up front. That's men are wired to think about sex. That's why it's in the damn 3 things I gave y'all. And you'll be surprised. Y'all ladies learn how to give good head, how far that would take y'all, how much benefits that would get y'all. Just learn how to do that and be eager and willing to do that. That man will give you anything he wants. It don't matter what you look like. Peace, cooperation, and good head will get you so far. Looks have nothing to do with that. It don't matter. Again, I stay away from 8s, 9s, and 10s. Ain't no such thing as a 10, but 8s, 9s, and 10s, because they perform below average sexually. They to me, that's been my experience. The prettier a woman is, the worse the sex is. That's just my experience. Usually somewhere in the middle, average women, them 4s, 5s, and 6s is the sweet spot. But that's just my experience. But see, there's a lot of guys out here don't have no experience, so that's why they always talk about doms, and she was a dom, and you could put 10 men in a room, and those 10 men would never agree on what a dime is. They would never agree. Now, we could come to a consensus on a 9, but we ain't going to come to a consensus on a 10, because somebody going to say something stupid like Halle Berry, and I'm like, nope. We're going to have a hung jury. It's going to be a hung jury on Halle Berry. Halle Berry's cute to me. Halle Berry is a 6. She's an adjustable 6 to me. Well, her wrinkly ass titties. She's an adjustable 6. She got a decent little body and ain't all of that. It look good on camera, but I've seen her on pictures, and TV adds pounds to you, and it makes her look a little bit, makes her body look better. Like when she was playing Storm, ooh, that body was spectacular, but that ain't how she normally look. That ain't. Take Erykah Badu now. Erykah Badu got a body, and they're similar in height and shape, but Erykah Badu has the better body. That's why Erykah Badu could strip butt naked and walk down the street in that video, because she had the body to do that. Halle Berry can't do that. She was nervous about pulling her little titties out and damn swordfish. I'm like, they pay her all of that money to pull them little titties out. I'm like, hell, Janet Jackson had nice titties in that. The hell we doing? Y'all are goofy. But that's me. That's me. Janet Jackson ain't a dime. Janet Jackson is an 8. I put her at an 8. She fine. She an 8. I put her equal with Beyonce. So if we going by Kevin Samuel's scale, God rest the Godfather. Shout out to our Godfather, Saint Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. He came out with the standard. This is his standard. I don't necessarily agree with it, but we're going to use it. Beyonce's an 8. Kelly Rowland's a 9. Rihanna's a 10. So Janet Jackson's equal to Beyonce. Now, I personally don't think Kelly Rowland is a 9. She's not. I wouldn't put her at a 9, but I could see how he did. She's not a 9. I could think of some other people.
All right, y'all. They coming, so hold on.
I don't know if y'all remember
preamp.
Mark
We got the
Jackson's wife,
preamp. We got the
Desiree. She was a solid
preamp.
9.
great state of Michigan, nice state. And I also want to thank Allro Steel CEO Randy Glick. Just met Randy, and he's fantastic. The job the family's done, he's done. It's beautiful. And all of the talented workers here at Allro Steel, I hope you're all happy. Are you happy with the company? I think, yes. Huh? I think. Great company. And congratulations on 76 years of manufacturing in Michigan. And you had your best years 4 years ago, but you're going to have even better years coming up. I can tell you that. You're going to have even better. I'm here today with a simple message for the American auto worker and for the American worker. Your long economic nightmare will very soon be over. It's going to be over. Going to turn it around. With your vote, we will defeat Comrade Kamala Harris. And we will bring back the American dream, bigger, better, stronger, and just better, bigger, better. We love the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream. When was the last time you heard about the American dream? They don't talk about it, although they copy everything else I do, so I guess that'll be next. They'll be copying. They'll be saying, oh, the American dream. She doesn't know what the American dream is. Over the past 4 years, Kamala and crooked Joe Biden have presided over an economic reign of terror, committing one financial atrocity after another. As vice president, Kamala cast the deciding votes that caused the worst inflation in American history. You're all victims of it. We all are. Everybody is a victim of it. It's a nation buster, costing the typical family $28,000. Under her policies, household wealth has plummeted by $33,000 per family. The cost of the typical monthly mortgage has really tripled, and you can't get the money. So, you know, you will go from 2% to 10%, but you can't get the money at 10%. I guess they want more than that, but you just can't get the money. Credit card debt has ballooned by 40%, and they have the highest numbers in history right now. As of about 3 days ago, the highest number in history. Now Kamala says she wants to talk about the future, but she's been there for 3.5 years. She only wants to talk about the future because the past has been so, the job they've done. Let me tell you, he's the worst president in the history of our country, and she's the worst vice president, and she's the worst border czar in the history of the world. And she's the one who gave us every single disaster that our country is facing right now. Look at Afghanistan. She said, I was the last person in the room. What a horrible, horrible event that was. Kamala's made middle-class life unaffordable and unlivable, and I'm going to make America affordable again. In addition to making it great again, we're going to make it affordable again, and that's going to be starting on day one. Isn't it amazing? They go 3 years, and now they say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. The only good thing that she's done is flip-flopping. She's the greatest flip-flopper. Things that she never even thought of.
Not the flip-flopper.
She probably goes back to her room and gets sick to her stomach when she says what she has to say, because she's a Marxist, she's a fascist, and she never believed. I mean, now she's saying, oh, we want to build a strong border. Where has she been for 3.5 years as we took in 20 million people, many of them horrible criminals? My vision is for a middle class that is once again the envy of the entire world. It's going to happen. It's going to happen fast. Thank you. Workers like you and communities like this should be able to afford a nice house, a new car, and a growing family on a single income, all while enjoying the highest standard of living on earth, right? Thank you. Americans deserve safe streets, secure borders, great schools, healthy children, bustling factories, and a nation that is confident and a nation that is strong. That's the future that I intend to deliver, and I will deliver. And you had the best economy in the history of our country just a short while ago, and now you have what they call inflation, what that has done to this country. And frankly, they've done also worse, and you're going to end up in World War III with these people. I'll tell you what, we've never been so close to World War III. And, you know, with the power of weapons, I always say this isn't two army tanks running back and forth shooting at each other. The power of weapons today very dangerous, very bad. We have people, do we have a president? He just got back from California. He was supposed to go to the White House. He never got there. He went to Delaware and he's laying on a beach sleeping all day long. No, seriously, who the hell wants to sleep? And who wants to sleep in public? He's sleeping. Do you think President Xi of China is at a beach sleeping? Do you think Kim Jong-un is sleeping from North Korea with his nuclear weapons all over the place? They don't sleep so much. And we have a guy sleeping. And she's incompetent. She can't do an interview. It's been months. She can't. I just did an interview backstage. She was a very terrible person, but she was okay, actually. NBC fake news. It was NBC fake news. She asked me about all sorts of things. She asked me about abortion, and I handled it very nicely because you know what? That's so overplayed. We have abortion. We have the whole thing brought back into the states where it belongs. That's where everybody wanted it for years and years and years, and they're voting on it. And I happen to believe in the exceptions Ronald Reagan did for life of the mother, rape, incest. The exceptions, probably 90% of the people do. But you know, I was just telling this reporter, the real problem and the real radicals on that issue are the Democrats, where you can have an abortion in the 9th month. And in 6 states, you're allowed to kill the baby after the baby is born. And you know, one of those states is Minnesota, where this tampon Tim comes from.
There we go.
Kill the baby after the baby's born. So that's no longer abortion. That's called execution, right? You're allowed to execute the baby after the baby. They're the radical. Kamala is promising communist-style price controls, free taxpayer-funded health care. Not that you're going to want. Nobody in this room is going to want it. For all illegal aliens, mass amnesty and citizenship for the millions and millions of migrants she lets in. She wants to give citizenship to people that have come here illegally. They didn't come through the system. You know, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally, right? They have to come in legally. We're taking people that are murderers and drug dealers, and she wants to give them amnesty. I tell you, I don't get it. But all of this will destroy Medicare and will destroy your Social Security. She called for the abolition of ICE. You know, ICE, these are great patriots. These are tough people. I'm looking at some of these people right in the front row. They're tough as hell, but you don't want to be an ICE. You don't want to walk into MS-13 gangs and start slugging it out. These guys are seriously tough, and they love our country. You know, somebody's got to do it. I took them out by the thousands. Now they don't want to take them out anymore. They want to let ICE, the worst gang probably in the world, the meanest, the nastiest. They slice up people with knives. They'd rather use a knife than a gun because it's more painful. They killed 2 young students walking to school, 2 beautiful young 16-year-old girls walking to school. They sliced them up in Long Island. And they want to let these people stay, and we're not going to let them stay. We want to give them that trade. Congress sponsored a bill to blow up the entire U.S. healthcare system and force every American into a socialist government-run program with rationing and deadly wait times. You go there and they say, yeah, that's good. We're going to be all set for you. Come back in 3 months. She endorsed a 70 to 80% tax rate increase. Look at this. She thinks the rate could be as much as 80%. She says, I'll think about that. Well, I won't think about it. Okay, I won't think about anywhere near it. In fact, we're going for a tax cut. You know, we gave you the biggest tax cut in history, and that gave us tremendous numbers of jobs. And we actually took in more income the following year after the cut because our country was booming like it had never boomed before. She supports abolishing cash bail so that when you murder somebody, oh, don't worry about it. You're free to go. No cash, no nothing. And then they go murder somebody else, and in some cases, much more than one person. And she endorsed the Marxist crusade to defund the police. Do you know that she was the leader of the defund the police? Does anybody in Michigan, I said, why don't I just walk up? I don't have to waste a lot of time. You're all fans, right? Is anybody here not going to vote for Trump? I'm just good. Raise your hand if you have the courage to do that. I think pretty good. No, but, you know, I said, why do I have to make a speech? All I have to do is say, she was the leader of the defund the police movement. And then I say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and leave. Because when you hear that, no, she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist. He's a Marxist professor. It's very nice. This election is not a choice between Democrats and Republicans. It's a choice between communism and freedom. That's what it's about. And nobody really knows her. They were doing something, the man on the street, they said, you know Harris? Everyone's saying, who the hell is Harris? Nobody knows who Harris is. What's the vice president's name? They have no idea what the name is. Now, the name Kamala is, it's a little complex because there's about 19 different ways of pronouncing it, right? But Kamala is, at least it's a name you sort of remember. You can't use Harris because nobody knows who the hell Harris is. Who's Harris? We want somebody they know. And, you know, one of the reasons they don't know, she did a lousy job. She was considered the worst vice president in history. I don't know who does this stuff, but she was considered the worst. Kamala will turn America into a third world country. Will happen. It's already getting there. I hate to tell you. When you look at our borders, when you look at our elections, our rigged elections, when you look at all the crap that's going on, we're turning into a third. When you look at how they go weaponize against me for doing absolutely nothing wrong, I got indicted, I think, 9 different times. 9 times. I never even knew what an indictment was for my whole life. All of a sudden, the last year, I think I had 9 indictments, far more than Alphonse Capone, who was quite well known in Chicago and the environs. He liked killing people, but he had nothing like me. 9 times, you know, and every time they see me going up in the polls and we're leading in the polls, and I think we're leading by a lot. You know, the polls are rigged too. The polls are rigged too. You know, they say Donald Trump is tied. You know, we were up massively by Biden. How would you like to be me? I spent $100 million on beating Biden. We had a debate, and everybody said, this guy's shot. They never give me credit. They say he was shot. Maybe I did a good job. Somebody said that was the greatest debate performance I've ever said. And then you know what? That I've ever seen. Said, it was a CNN person. Said, this is the single greatest debate performance I've ever seen. 2 days later, they forgot about that. They said he was terrible, you know, but that's all right. Whatever it takes. But, you know, I spent $100 million on fighting him. We weren't fighting anyone else. We weren't fighting a vice president. We didn't even know who the hell she was. And then all of a sudden they say, Joe, you're losing badly. You got to get out. He was losing by a lot. But they went up to him. They said, get out. That's like you're in a fight and you have a fighter and he's doing great. And they say, listen, we're going to take the opponent out. We're going to throw another guy in to finish it off. It's that's what they did, really. It's never been done before. And, you know, she was last online. And she came in last. I think there were like 22 people. She was the first one to get out. And she got out. She had no votes. She had no votes. She was supposed to go to Iowa. She quit before Iowa. That was the first state. She never made it to Iowa. And now she's running. And what about those other 20 or so people? They did much better than her. And they're saying they're sitting home watching television. But, you know, they're having a big discussion now because they don't understand why she refuses to sit down for just an interview. And they've got a lot of friendly. You know, it's much easier being a Democrat because you see all the fake news back there. If you're a Democrat, they say he just gave the greatest speech that we've ever heard. Not since FDR has there been a speech. I saw this with Biden. He made a State of the Union address. It was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. I saw her make a speech. It was so bad. And after they get off, this was one of the greatest performances we've ever seen in our country. With me, I make a speech. I speak for 2 hours. Everybody loves it. I got thousands of people, by the way, outside trying to get in. They never said Trump's a great speaker. I don't even want that, but I must be a great speaker, right? I must. We got thousands of people. No, we got thousands and thousands. Boy, if I were a Democrat, they'd say he's the greatest that ever lived. He made Abraham Lincoln look like nothing. But no, I don't care about that. I care about winning for our country. I care about making America great again, and that's what we're going to do. So we're pleased to be joined today by some really great winners, champions, patriots, and one of them is Lisa McLean, Congresswoman. Where's Lisa? Hi, Lisa. You are doing amazing. I'll tell you, don't be fooled by her. She's a very nice person, but she's brutal when it comes to your state, when it comes to jobs, right, Lisa? And she's proud of it, too. Yep, she is. Thank you. Great job. And another man that I picked out of a large group, I said, this guy's got what it takes. He's a highly respected person. He's running for the U.S. Senate, and I think he's going to win. I just saw a poll where he's leading by a little bit. It's not an easy race. It's not an easy race, but the other one is going to be just a disaster. She's going to vote everything that whoever it would be, except me, they won't, but hopefully we're not going to need it. But she's a disaster. Mike Rogers is one of the most respected people in Washington, and he will be, I believe, your next senator. Great, Mike. He is actually one of the most respected people in Washington, and he came out of a large group of Republicans that all wanted the same job, and he really did. He ran a great race, won easily.
Thank you, Eric, for the super sticker. I appreciate it.
But he did. He won easily, and he's got great gravitas. Your next congressman, and you're going to have a great congressman who I think is going to win, Tom Barrett. Tom. Thank you, Tom. Great job. I heard you're doing well, Tom. Good. Running against somebody that's not good. Not good for your state, not good for our country. Michigan House Republican leader Matt Hall. Are we going to win, Matt? He gave me a good summary. He said, you're going to win, sir. You know, they have these fake polls. They're almost
no,
as
he
bad
hasn't,
as the fake right,
not
as
yet.
the fake news. We interviewed 49 Democrats for a poll. We interviewed 49 Democrats and 21 Republicans. You know, it's a little thing on the bottom. I'm surprised they even put it. They probably must be a law. But they put it 49 Democrats and 21 Republicans. And the race is tied. They said, tied? How the hell can it be tied? So tied means I'm leading by like 14 or 15 points. I don't know. But it's fake news. It's just, it's as bad. It's as bad as they are with a pen. I'm telling you, it's really bad. They can make those polls sing. They can make them do whatever they want. Michigan Senate Republican leader, Eric Nesbitt. Eric, thank you. Great job. What a beautiful young daughter. What a beautiful young daughter. Great. Thanks, Eric. Thanks very much. We also have some people of great distinction. Justice David Viviano is here with us. David, thank you, David. Highly respected justice. Thank you, David. Judge Patrick O'Grady. Patrick is here someplace. Where's Patrick? Another one, highly respected. So whatever you're doing, keep it going. Good. And Tudor Dixon, who really ran a good race. Where is Tudor? Well, hi, Tudor. She's a great person. Loves this state and loves the workers. I knew her father. Her father was in the steel business. Successful guy. I knew him as he was leaving our planet, right? Leaving. He was very sick and leaving, but he loved his daughter. He was so proud of you. So he's up there watching. Thank you very much, Tudor. Appreciate it. And Brian Pannebecker, who's like a friend of mine. This guy, where is he? Where's Brian? Where is he? Do you want to come up? Come on up here, Brian. This guy, he thinks the United Auto Workers have the worst leader and that they're crazy. They're going to be driven out of business. All the business is going to China. Within 2-3 years, you're not going to have auto workers in this. If they vote for Trump, we're going to bring in factories at levels that you've never seen before. We're going to get the auto workers' jobs back like it was 30 years ago and 40 years ago before everybody left. We're going to get it back at levels that you've never seen. Brian, say hello, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And the last time you called me up on stage in Grand Rapids, it was the first rally that you'd held since the assassination attempt. And I was speechless. But tonight, I want to say a couple things real briefly. I represent the Auto Workers for Trump organization, which was a Facebook group. I started that group I started that group. Thank you. There's some auto workers here, I'm sure. Lansing got a lot of them. But unfortunately, a lot of them have lost their jobs. Listen, Chrysler and General Motors have already gone bankrupt once. But if we allow electric vehicle mandates to be put on this industry by the federal government, they're going out of business again. We got to fight against that. And this guy standing right here is the only person who will do it. We cannot allow the federal government to put mandates on the auto industry to build electric vehicles when the consumers do not want them. So I'm asking everybody, I'm asking auto workers, and I'm asking everybody that supplies the auto industry, get 10 or 15 of your friends, make sure they get out and vote. Our very survival depends on it, and we can't allow it to happen. So vote Trump and J.D. Vance, and we'll turn this country around. He's done it once. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go back and do it again. Thank you.
Wait, stay here, please. I love you. Wait, come here.
Okay.
You know, as he's
I'm
speaking,
feeling it.
look at the arms of this guy.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Look at that.
Cut it out.
Well, let me see. He's really great and a real patriot, and it's true. You know, they're building, I don't know if you know, numerous of the biggest auto plants in the world right now.
In Mexico.
Right near the border in Mexico, owned by China. They think they're going to build the cars and send them in. And with this administration, they won't even know what's happening. They'll take every single job. You're not going to have any auto workers within 2 years, maybe 3 years. Nobody's going to be making cars here. I told them, if you do that, we're going to put tariffs on at 200, 250%. You're never going to sell one car in this country. And they didn't build them.
Every time he stopped that tariff,
because of a bad situation that happened, because we did great in this state too.
Yeah, you won it.
But a bad situation that happened, corrupt, bad situation. You have to keep your eyes open this time.
Yep.
But, you know, they use COVID to cheat. Very simple. They use COVID to cheat. But I told them, I said, you do it, you're not going to sell any cars. As soon as I was gone, they started construction, and they're almost finished. And that's going to wipe you out. They're the biggest plants anywhere in the world. A friend of mine builds plants, and I think he's building these. I said, I want to see some big plants. I want to go and tour some of the big auto plants. That's all he does. Honestly, he's a great guy. Can't walk across the street. He can build a plant like nobody.
Damn.
He said, sir, you're going to have to come to Mexico. I said, no, I want to see one in the United States. He said, the big ones are being built in Mexico. That's no good. And we're not going to let it happen. They can build their plant. They're not going to have any cars coming into this country. If they want to build a plant, they can. They're going to build it in Michigan or at least someplace in our country. Thank you.
The UAW members realize this now, and I'm doing a rally at a different auto plant every week. I started in June. We're going to go all the way to November, and we're talking to the auto workers as they come off their shift and go into work. And 70 or 80% of them are voting for Donald Trump because they know their jobs depend on it.
Thank you, sir. Wow.
That's dedication.
He's a dynamic guy, isn't he? Huh?
That is serious dedication.
No, it's really, look, I didn't know Brian. He just knows that, you know, we had 4 great years. But I got an award years ago in Michigan. I got Man of the Year a long time ago. In fact, the fake news said, I never got it. I made it up. I didn't make it up. And then they found out I actually did get it. I was lucky. They found out who it was. It was like a Chamber of Commerce someplace. And I gave a whole speech. This was probably 15 years ago, 17 years ago. I gave a speech on why are you letting them steal your auto manufacturing business? And it only got worse and worse and worse. Then I stopped it. And then as soon as I was gone, they let it happen. And these plants that are being built all around the world are going to take all of your business. And I'm a big fan of electric cars, but they're limited. They don't go far. They're very expensive. And they're going to all be made in China because they have the material.
Why y'all okay with your
job? We have more
being
liquid gold under our feet than anybody else. It's called gasoline for what we talk about. And we want to build gasoline-propelled cars, but we also want to build hybrids, and we want to build electric cars. You know, Elon Musk, I think he's great, and he endorsed me very strongly. I said, listen, you know, I'm all for electric cars, but not all of them, because they really don't go far yet, but they're incredible. The job he's done and the job that others have done are great, and it's called a market. You have to be able to buy what you want to buy. There'll be another form of car. They talk about hydrogen now. They talk about all sorts of things. But it's called a market. But we can't do that. They want to put, and like immediately, all electric cars, but we don't have enough electricity to supply ourselves right now. You go out to California, which was destroyed by Kamala, destroyed. She destroyed the city of San Francisco. And I own a big building there. I shouldn't talk about this, but that's okay. I don't give a damn because this is what I'm doing. I should say it's the finest city in the world. Sell and get the hell out of there, right? But I can't do that. I don't care, you know. I lost billions of dollars. You know, somebody said, what do you think he lost? I said, probably 2-3 billion. That's okay. I don't care. They said, do you think you'd do it again? And that's the least of it. Nobody. They always say that, I don't know if you know, Lincoln was horribly treated. Jefferson was pretty horribly. Andrew Jackson, they say, was the worst of all, that he was treated worse than any other president. And I said, do that study again, because I think there's nobody close to Trump. I even got shot. And who the hell knows where that came from, right? No, these are bad people. They're sick people. You know, we have people on the outside, the countries, but if you have a smart president, the countries will be an asset, not a liability. That includes China. That includes Russia. If you have a smart president, but we don't have a smart president right now, by the way, you're going to end up in World War III. This period of time better happen fast because we have nobody running our country. We have nobody at the Resolute desk. There's nobody, the two of them. She's no good, and he's sleeping. In fact, I'm going to go back to the name for him, Sleepy Joe, instead of Crooked Joe. Did you see they found last week, Brian, he took $28 million. They say he stole his family, took $28 million, and nothing happened. There was the night he made his brilliant speech, which was all about Trump. You know, everything they do, they talk about Trump.
You ain't
they
lying.
talked about Trump, I think, 347 times. They talked about the border once. They talked about crime twice. They talked about all
we're
the things that you should be talking about, not at all. But they talk about
y'all,
Trump.
I'm ready. We're going to see.
And look, we did something that they're very angry about. We beat somebody that should have been beaten in an election that we weren't anticipated to win. But I thought we were going to win because I came to Michigan the night before. We had 49,000 people. She came to Michigan the night before because she was told she may lose it. And this was an upset, so they had a fast tour. She had like 300 people. They said, why would we lose? We had the crowd. You wouldn't have believed it. Half of you were probably there. But we're also joined by a very incredible service member. I presented him with a thing called the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Not yet, Dover.
And he is a fantastic man, and he's a good-looking guy. I don't know. He looks better than he did when I presented. Something's good. He's doing good. Specialist 5, James McLuhan. Where's James? James? Thank you, James. You look good. Good head of hair. Look at him. Got that good Irish, Scottish, whatever hair. Look at that guy. Stand up. Just stand up. Come here. I'm proud of him. I wouldn't have done what he did. I know what he did. What he did. I always say there are two awards: is the Medal of Honor, and oftentimes is posthumously where, you know, they're not there. Oftentimes they've died. And then you have to, and I always say I'd rather get the Presidential Medal because the guys that came in, other than you and a few others, oftentimes they've suffered greatly, right? They've suffered greatly, or they're not around. But it's our highest award, and it's an honor to have you here, and I'm very proud that I was able to give you the award. Thanks, James. In 4 short years under my leadership, we passed record tax cuts, record regulation cuts, and built the greatest economy in the history of the world. I ended NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made. You people had to suffer with it for years. And replaced it with the USMCA, that's Mexico and Canada, which they say is the best trade deal ever made. Actually, the best deal I made probably was with China, but I don't talk about it because once COVID came in, that was the end of China. Once they did that to the world, not to us, to the whole world, $59 trillion of damages and millions of people. And it should have, and it came out of Wuhan, the lab, it came out of the labs. And that's where I said it came from. And it was incompetence. It was a mistake. I believe it was a mistake. A lot of people don't think. So a lot of people think they did it because I was getting hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs from China. You know, no president had ever gotten anything from China. I got hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs and saved a lot of jobs by doing that because they ended up not being able to do what they were doing. And I saved the steel industry also, as you know. Those are the guys that like me the most. But now I see U.S. Steel, the great U.S. Steel. U.S. Steel is being sold to Japan. I don't like that. Can you imagine U.S. Steel? That was the greatest company in the world 70 years ago, 60 something years ago. U.S. Steel is going to be sold to Japan. I wouldn't let it happen. I just wouldn't let it happen. Such a big benchmark. That shouldn't be going to Japan. They should rebuild it. They should do whatever they have to do, would work with them, would make it great.
No matter what side,
just like we're going to make our country great again. Under Kamala, we are rapidly approaching economic and social catastrophe. Most Americans are unaware that Harris and Biden have been shutting down entire swaths of our energy and electricity infrastructure without replacing it or even talking about it, leading to soaring electrical prices and energy prices, and also an energy shortfall like we've never had before. They're closing down things that shouldn't be closed down. This week, Harris officially banned drilling on 28 million acres of public lands. So what they did is when they came in, what caused inflation, other than their spending, which was a big factor, but it's because they came in and they wanted to terminate everything I was doing. And the prices were going through the roof for gasoline and everything. So they said, put it back, put it back. So it all came back, or most of it came back. Maybe not to the same, but pretty close. They said, go back, after the election. If they ever won, it's all gone. But what they don't say is they'll say, oh, but we have the similar to Trump. And that's sort of true, but what they don't have is they don't have ANWR. They gave up ANWR, the biggest site anywhere in the world in Alaska that I got done. Ronald Reagan couldn't get it done. But really, most importantly, what they don't have is we were going to be 4 to 5 times bigger by now. So when they say they had it back, they only had it back to where I was. We were going to have so much energy coming out of the ground, so much liquid gold. We're going to pay off debt. We're going to reduce your taxes further. I mean, we have more liquid gold than Saudi Arabia. We have more than Russia, and we were going to use it. And you know where we're getting a lot of our energy now? Venezuela, which isn't even, it's tar. You know that. It's tar. And you know where it's refined? There's only one plant in the entire world that can do it. It happens to be in Houston, Texas. So for like particles coming into the air, take a look at that mess. And we have clean, beautiful stuff. We have the best. We have the best and we have the most. And we don't use it. We go to electric or we go to something else. You almost say, do they hate our country? Because it's so incompetent. Do they hate our country? The first thing I will do to make middle-class life dramatically more affordable is to end Kamala's war on American energy, terminate her Green New Scam, and drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. Since Harris took office, more than 50 power plants have been shut down. Many of these were great plants, but they didn't like the way they were fueled up. Many of them are needed to create electricity. It's like it starts from somewhere. It doesn't start from electricity. And by the way, just a little side note. So AI is a big deal. For us to compete successfully with China and others on AI, we're going to need twice the electricity that we currently produce. Can you believe that? We're not going to be even close. The only guy that can do that is a guy like me. I opened up 2 plants in Louisiana that went through 14 years, LNG plants. They went through 14 years of approvals and were turned down. I got it done in one day. One day, we got it opened. Those owners, whoever they were actually people going to spend $16 billion. These are the biggest, just like the Empire State Building on its side times 3. The longest, biggest buildings you've ever seen. All they had is pipes inside. I said, what the hell kind of a building is this? But you know what? Billions of dollars. And they got turned down. I got it approved in one of them. One day, the owner or the head of the company couldn't believe it. He said, I got a call. I guarantee you a consultant somewhere that represented him. So I did a great job. I didn't speak to consultants. I just got it done. And now they're up and they're roaring and they're just fantastic. Under Kamala's radical power plant rule issued by the EPA, all coal-fired power plants will be forced to close in the next few years. What are you going to do? Gutting more than 1/6 of the power, and really we're going to go to a very weak form of producing power. We don't have energy that can power up those big, massive plants that we need, including the ones right here in Michigan. You don't have the energy. Wind is wonderful. If you like high cost, if you like having to replace the windmills every 9 years, they wear out and they're very intermittent and they do kill a hell of a lot of birds. If you want to see a lot of dead birds, go to a windmill and just look underneath. You'll see birds all over the place. Same rule has frozen
I don't know
virtually
though,
all
but
new
some of this I
investment
haven't
in
heard
large
before.
natural gas projects, setting us up for a horrible shortage of at least 30% of our electrical grid capacity in the future. So we're going to have much less in the future. We're closing down all our plants, just like trucks. They want you to make electric trucks, and the truckers come to see me. Sir, they don't work. One man had 29,000. He said, I started with nothing. I have 29,000 trucks. He said, I'd buy trucks, and every year they got better, they got more efficient, they got stronger, they got more beautiful. I started building apartments in the back of the cabs, right? You know what that is? He said, sir, you're rich, but you would have loved some of these apartments. I said, no, thanks, but that's okay. No, it's beautiful. This stuff is fantastic. We had 4 or 5 companies. I said, which one did the best? He said, they all do good, sir. But now they want us to go to electric trucks, and I'll have to stop 6 times on the way to California from New York, 6 times. And sir, they weigh 2.5 times more than a gasoline or than a diesel powered truck. I said, so what does that mean? He said, that means you're going to have to rebuild every bridge and every major roadway in the country just because of the weight. And they're very inefficient. And the battery is much bigger than the tank. And he was telling me the battery would take up at least half of the area right now that they use for hauling. I said, so when you tell people like that you'd have to rebuild every bridge in America, that you'd have to rebuild the roads, that the tank, that you have to stop 6 times from New York to California. He said, with a load of diesel, a good truck can go all the way and even start their way back. That's how good it is. And he said this, it was amazing because he said it right from the heart.
Is that true, Eric?
If they make us do this, I'll be out of business. We'll all be out of business. Your supply chain will be a disaster.
Oh, Lord,
but
have mercy.
if they made us do this, every year that I bought a truck, it was better. They got better, better, better. We will have gone back 70 or 80 years. We'll have trucks that don't go far. We'll have trucks that don't work well. We'll have trucks that can carry a very small payload because of the size of the batteries and the weight. So I said, well, when you tell these officials this, what do they say? They say, we don't care. You're going all electric. So if you had a child, let's see, do we have any children? If you had a child, a beautiful boy in the green shirt, if you had just a little child saying, and he's not so little, he's a big boy, he's going to be a big one. But if you said to a child, it doesn't go far, it weighs too much, the payload's no good, and lots of other problems, and they're much more expensive, he would say, let's stay with diesel, right? These guys say, we don't care. Then they want to make our army tanks, all electric. And the problem is they don't go far. They're the wrong torque. And you know where
my question is, with a regular, we're saying with your truck burning diesel, can you go from New York to California and be on your way back before you need to fill up?
Be environmentally friendly as we blast our way into a country that we hate, right? We want to take on these countries and be environmentally friendly. These people are deranged. They're deranged people. I will be the American energy president. I'll be a president for a lot. I'm going to be the automobile manufacturing president too. You watch. And it won't even be hard. I can do it with a pen. I can come and build plants in the United States, preferably here. But come in and build your plants in the United States of America. And if you don't, you're not allowed to sell cars here. And we're going to tax you at 150 or 200%. I did that with steel. And people are going to flow in. And the head of your union, who's absolutely terrible. I mean, give him an IQ test. I mean, this guy doesn't know what is happening. He's horrible. Sean Fain. He's horrible. What a terrible job. He sold out the union. And they automatically endorse, they automatically endorse Democrats for many, many years. But if you look at your car industry now and 25 years ago, it's like a different world. You've just, what you've lost is so bad. We can get it all back. We can get so much of it back because you're still the big market. And that's why we have to do it fast, because we have to remain the big market. The way we're going with this country, we're going to lose that. We're going to lose our currency values. We're going to lose the dollar standard. If we lose the dollar standard, that's like losing a war. If we don't have the dollar standard, we are a third world country. My goal will be to cut your energy costs in half within 12 months after taking office. So we can do that. If you have the oil supply, which we have more than anybody, your heating and air conditioning, electricity, gasoline, all can be cut down in half. Your gasoline, I had it down to $1.87. I had moments when it was much lower than that.
For mid-grade
to achieve this rapid reduction in energy costs, national emergency to allow us to dramatically increase energy production, generation, and supply, which Comrade Kamala has destroyed. She's destroyed it. Starting on day one, I will approve new drilling, new pipelines, new refineries, new power plants, new reactors, and we will slash the red tape. We will get the job done. We will create more electricity also for these new industries that can only function with massive electricity, and we'll get it done. And nobody else is even going to come close. They won't even try. And if they did try, nothing would happen. Under President Trump, America's future will be energy abundance, energy independence, and soon we will be energy dominant. We're going to be dominant, much more so than Russia. We started off number 3. By the time I left, we were number 1 by a lot, and we were going to be doubling and tripling them up. The cutting of ANWR was a shame. Ronald Reagan tried to get it. He couldn't get it. Every president, they all tried to get ANWR. In Alaska, I got it. They think the size of Alaska in terms of what's under there. And
wow.
In the first week in office, he terminated it. I got it all done. They were all started drilling. Took them a year and a half. They got everything perfect. They were all starting in Alaska to drill. And what a shame that is. ANWR could have been maybe the biggest site in the world, but we're going to get it back. It'll be back very quickly. I promise you that. Because I know the roadmap. I know that roadmap very well. People said, I can't believe you got ANWR. Ronald Reagan couldn't get, nobody could get it. And it was easier then, because now you have the environmental stuff at levels that, nobody's ever seen before. Much of it to stop us from making progress. I will also stop Chinese-owned electric vehicle battery companies from coming to Michigan and stealing our intellectual property, our workers' knowledge, and then sending it back to communist China. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. Every part of Comrade Kamala's economic plan looks like it was written for her by the Chinese Communist Party. It actually looks much of her. Now, in all fairness, she did an interview today. She didn't want to go in alone. How do you think President Xi is going to do with us? Oh, he's just savoring it. So she went in with this vice president guy that nobody ever heard of. And she did an interview with a very friendly reporter. We'll see, maybe the friendly reporter, not friendly to a lot of other people. She was very fair to me, Dana Bash, very fair to me in the debate. We had the debate with Sleepy Joe. She was very fair, and Jake Tapper was very fair. I respect. I don't call him Fake Tapper anymore. I may have to start eventually, but no. But I thought they were very fair. I just said neutral. Could you be neutral? Would that be okay? And they were pretty neutral. And but Dana Bash is interviewing Kamala, and people just want to see if she can get through the interview. Nobody knows what's going on. I've done so many interviews in the last couple of months. Every time I go out, I have an interview. I have people, reporters, and we talk to them. And they ask me every question in the book, and we answer them. And you don't see any scandals brewing, nothing. We answer them properly. You have to, as president, you have to be able to deal. You're dealing with the toughest, smartest, most ruthless people in the world. If you can't do an interview, we got the wrong person. To get more relief to working class citizens and seniors on fixed incomes, we will have no tax on tips, and we will have no tax on Social Security benefits. Right? And I did it 4 years. I didn't touch your Social Security, and they're going to end up adding a lot of years. I know, because I know people in that party too. They're going to add 5 years, 6 years on. We're not going to add any years on. They're going to add, and they're going to destroy Social Security and Medicare because they have all these millions of people coming into the country. They want to make them citizens, and they want them to get onto Social Security, Medicare, and other plans. And that's going to be very destructive. It's going to destroy Social Security. In addition, as part of our efforts to help working families, I'm announcing today in a major statement that under the Trump administration, your government will pay for, or your insurance company will be mandated to pay for, all costs associated with IVF treatment, fertilization for women, IVF treatment. Because we want more babies, to put it very nicely. And for this same reason, we will also allow new parents to deduct major newborn expenses from their taxes, so that parents that have a beautiful baby will be able. So we're pro-family. Nobody's ever said that before. But the IVF treatments are expensive. It's very hard for many people to do it and to get it. But I've been in favor of IVF right from the beginning. If you talk to them, they'll say, oh, he really doesn't like, they have ads like I'm against it. It's just the opposite. By comparison, they're against it, but I'm totally in favor of it. But we're going to do what I just said. We're going to pay for it, and it'll help families, because a lot of families can't use it. And a lot of these same families have been hurt so badly by their inflation. They caused the inflation, and we are going to pay for the IVF treatments, fertilization. They're going to pay for it. We're going to take care of it. And another key driver of inflation is the migrant invasion Kamala Harris has created on our southern border, which is causing immense inflationary pressure on housing and essential goods. There's never been anything like coming into our country. Border czar Harris, now she's saying, I was never named the border czar. Yes, she was. But we don't have to just say she was in charge of the border. We don't have to call her a czar. She wasn't really a czar. I think a czar is a compliment. Border czar Harris will import millions more illegal aliens and give them free housing and groceries, and I will send the illegal aliens back home where they belong. We have no choice. We have no choice. It's not like we cannot afford this. If they got in 4 years, you'd have over 100 million people from all over the world. And remember this, crime rates are going down in all these countries because they're sending us their criminals, they're sending us their drug dealers, they're sending us their people that are in jails. And I don't have to go and crazy, but that's common sense. I would do the same thing. If I was running some nice country in South America or all over the world, the Congo in Africa, 22 people came out of jail recently. They sent them here. Where do you come from? Congo. Oh, that's nice. Where are you from in the Congo? Jail. Oh.
Did he say where you from? They said jail.
Let me just tell you. Welcome. They're your citizens.
Come on now.
And they're doing this all over the world. Tom Homan told me that, who's great, by the way. He's really great. Brandon Judd, all these guys, Paul, all these guys, they're incredible people. But the Border Patrol people are incredible, what they put up with from these incompetent lunatics that don't even talk to them. They said, we have, as of last week this year, 169 countries represented by people coming illegally into our country. 100. Most people don't even know you have that many countries. Some of those countries, we don't even know the language is a different language. We don't have anybody in our country that even speaks it. But they're pouring in, and many of them are the worst people in those countries, and their crime rates are going way down. In Venezuela, their crime rate has gone plummeted because they're sending their killers. And if you saw that skit today, and it was a skit, I thought it was, well, I've seen it all. I guess I didn't really think too much about it other than how bad it is. In Venezuela, did you see the gang of Venezuelans today? They took over a building. They literally took over the building, walked in with machine guns, gang members from Venezuela.
Now, he done called her the border about 16
even
times.
Even the beginning of this migrant crime. We're
going
to have a migrant crime. And just remember, they have a hat It said Trump was right about everything. And I have to say, I pretty much was right about everything. You're going to see, unfortunately, I wish I wasn't. I wish I wasn't. And be careful with World War III. I don't want to be right about that. And I'm not going to say, but I will tell you, we're close. October 7th would have never happened because Iran was broke with me. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for Hamas. Russia would have never, ever attacked Ukraine. We would have had no inflation. You wouldn't have had that horrible, embarrassing mess, that horrible, horrible mess in Afghanistan. So many things. This country would be a totally different country now. And I will end deadly sanctuary cities in the state of Michigan and all across the country. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants them. So just sort of in concluding, here's what we know about Comrade Kamala Harris. She just doesn't care about the American people, especially hardworking people or middle-class Americans. She just doesn't give a damn about you. She does not care about the deaths, sex slavery, drugs, or criminals coming across our border. She's been vice president for almost 4 years, and she did nothing to stop the invasion of our country. She says that that's not her job, but it is her job. The President of the United States gave her that job. She just didn't do it, and she won't do it now. She does not care about the middle class struggling over inflation, the cost of gasoline, electricity, and she doesn't care about the cost of food. She does not care if you lose your job or cannot find another comparable job. She doesn't care. She does not care if you have to run up your credit card to levels that are unsustainable. She does not care if you and your family are struggling, and she did absolutely nothing to fix it. She's the vice president. She just does not care. She does not care about women's rights because she supported destroying women's sports and athletic scholarships. She wants men to play in women's sports. She's one of the leaders. Men should play in women's sports. You know, she's far further left than Bernie Sanders. Think of it. Nobody wanted Bernie Sanders to be president. She's much further left than Bernie Sanders, rated #1. She makes Pocahontas look like a conservative. Do you know who Pocahontas is? Yes, Elizabeth Warren. She said her mother said that she had high cheekbones and therefore she's an Indian. No, I don't think so. Actually, that's a very racist statement that she said, isn't it? If I ever said that, that would be trouble. No, she said,
Child, don't we know
my
it?
mother said I was Indian because I had high cheekbones. And then she put down on every application that she's an Indian, getting jobs all over the place. But we knocked her out of the presidential race pretty good, too. That's Pocahontas. They said, we want you to apologize to Pocahontas for using that term. I said, I will do that. People were shocked because I don't give up too easy. And I did apologize to Pocahontas, the real Pocahontas. I said, Pocahontas, I'm sorry I got you tied up with this person, this crazy person. Sorry, Pocahontas. I'm sorry, Pocahontas. But Elizabeth Warren is not nearly as radical left as this person, Kamala. But nobody knows Kamala because she doesn't do anything. She does not care about protecting little children from sex change operations because she chose Tampon Tim as her running mate, who believes the state, not mothers and fathers, should have the final say on sex change operations for their children. Do you know that? The state's allowed to decide whether or not they're going to do a sex change operation on their children. Kamala Harris wants to outlaw your car and truck and force you to buy electric vehicles, whether you like it or not. She couldn't care less. And you can't afford to do that because, again, they don't go far, but they're much more expensive. She does not care how it impacts you and your family. Kamala Harris does not care about senior citizens because she believes illegal aliens should receive Social Security and Medicare, which she knows will bankrupt those insurance programs, making it impossible for you to receive your pension and your health care, which you paid for your entire life. You've been paying for it. People are going to take it away. Those people that are coming in Remember, they're living in luxury hotels and our veterans are dying on the street. You know that. They're dying on the streets under the hotels. You have pictures last night, veterans dying on the street and other citizens, but veterans dying on the street and inside the hotel, nice and high in nice rooms. The government's paying a fortune to keep illegal aliens that came into our country, many of them criminals. There's something wrong with the thought process. She wants to destroy your private health care, even if you like it, even if your employer contributes to it. And she wants Washington, D.C. to make your medical decisions. She wants Washington to decide what procedures, medicines, and care you should receive, whether you like it or whether you don't. She doesn't care. Kamala Harris has had nearly 4 years to show us who she is. She is an uncaring politician with a radical ideology. She is a Marxist, just like her father. Despite her campaign of lies and flip-flops, we know who Kamala Harris is. She's the greatest flip-flopper of all time. She's copying every policy of Trump. Well, let's make her MAGA. I don't think so. Does anybody want to make Kamala MAGA? I don't think so. We'll get her. We'll send her a red hat without MAGA on it. We know by her actions and we know by her inaction. We know she does not care about working people, about the middle class, about the American citizen. She does not respect you. Ask the families of the 13 incredible service member heroes who died during the surrender of Afghanistan, which was surrendered by Kamala and Sleepy Joe, whether or not Kamala Harris cares about our young people and our military. Those incredible parents and sisters and brothers, they asked me to go yesterday to Arlington, and I did. And while I was there for a long time, it was very tough to get to because I was not in a good position to get there. It was very far away, but I did. I made it I got there right on time, and I spent a lot of time there. And while I was there, those families that asked me to be there, as they said, 3 families plus 1 soldier who was horrifically injured, both legs and an arm. And they asked me if I would be there. So I went. And while we were there, they said, could you take pictures over the grave of my son, my sister, my brother? Would you take pictures with us, sir? I said, absolutely, I did. And then I said farewell. I said goodbye. And last night I read that I was using the site to politic, that I used it to politic. This all comes out of Washington, just like all of these prosecutors come out of Washington. They all come out. They send their prosecutors into the DA's office. They send them into the Attorney General's office. These are bad people we're dealing with. So I go there. They ask me to have a picture, and they say I was campaigning. I don't need – the one thing I get is plenty of publicity. I don't need that. I don't need the publicity. But these are great people. And when you think about it, Joe Biden killed their children by incompetence. Should have never happened. Kamala killed their children, just as though they had a gun in their hand, by gross incompetence. And not one general or incompetent bureaucrat was fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And then they accused me of having a picture taken at the tombstone with a family because they love the president. They love me and I love them. I got to know them. Ask the cops in the street trying to protect you from murderers and rapists and thugs if Kamala Harris cares about law-abiding citizens. Remember to fund the police. Ask the families of women raped and murdered by illegal aliens and the teenagers cut to shreds by gangs from El Salvador and Venezuela if Kamala Harris cares about you. She destroyed San Francisco. Harris has opposed school choice for poor inner-city kids. She has opposed police in schools to protect our children. She has defended stocking school library shelves with filthy graphic books, horrible books. She refused to prosecute pedophiles who molested children when she was DA and AG in California. Does this sound like someone who cares about your children? Kamala Harris has failed you. She has failed totally as Vice President of the United States. She's been a total failure. Nobody even knows who she is. She's broken trust with you. She's done nothing for the middle class, nothing for working families, and she's done absolutely nothing for hardworking people. Your eyes don't lie. You see it. You know it. We all see it. She's the sitting vice president of the United States, and yet nobody knows who the hell she is. She does not give a damn about you. This is the real Kamala Harris, and now she wants to get a promotion. Did the worst job. All she had to do is take care of the border. That would be okay. Just take care of the border. She couldn't even do that. She never even went there. She went to a location that you'd like to go to have dinner with your family. She never even went to the border effectively. Think of it. Never spoke to anybody. All of those great border agents, did you ever speak to her? No, nobody ever spoke to her. Well, I'm here to not give her a promotion. I'm here to give her a demotion. Because she can hide, she can lie through her surrogates and the corrupt media, and they are very corrupt, remember that? But the truth is coming out, and it will come out. The American people are smart. They are not to be manipulated by Hollywood, the fake news media, and advertising. And as you deserve, a president who respects you, talks to you, and who levels with you, puts it right on the level, and who always has your best interests and has your back. I have your back, I have your heart, and I have every other part of your body. All of us today are part of the greatest political movement in the history of our country. This is the greatest movement in the history of our country. We did something that we really broke them up. This was getting bad. We broke them up. They're not happy about it. They're nasty. But this is the greatest MAGA, Make America Great Again, the greatest movement in the history of our country. You know, outside, they won't ever report this. They never report it. Outside, you have thousands and thousands of people that couldn't get in. They don't get seats like you guys. They didn't get the seats that you got, believe me. But you have thousands and thousands of people outside, as far as the eye could see, as we're driving up. We vote, we deliver taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, a home. We will stop immediately the horrific invasion, end migrant crime, support our police, build a missile defense shield all around our country like other countries have. We make them here. It'll all be made right here, and it'll be made also in Michigan, a lot of it. But we're going to have, and Ronald Reagan wanted that many years ago, but the truth is at that point we didn't have the technology. Now we have great technology. You see that other countries have it. We don't have it. We're going to have the best of all. We're going to have a missile defense system going to be built in the United States, installed all over and around our country. We're going to restore peace through strength, which is what I did. We had no wars when Donald Trump was president. Now we have nothing but wars. Prime Minister Viktor Orban of Hungary, he said the reason that the world is a mess because Trump is no longer president. When Trump was president, they were afraid of Trump. I don't want to use that term, but he did. He said they were afraid. China was afraid. Putin was afraid. I stopped Putin's pipeline in Europe. I'm sorry, Vladimir. I can't let you do it. I stopped it. It was stopped cold. And then when Biden got in, the first day he approved it. Then they said Trump was weak on Russia. Putin said, if you're weak on us, I'd hate like hell to see if you're strong on us. But the war would have never happened, would have never, ever happened. But Viktor Orban said, you bring back Trump and the whole world is going to be a safer place. We're going to keep critical race theory and transgender insanity out of our schools. We're going to keep men out of women's sports. And we're going to return our society based on merit, which the Supreme Court has given us the right to do, based on merit. We're going to go back to a merit system. If you're good at something, that's what you get. The Supreme Court approved that. That was courageous. We will defend the Second Amendment. We're going to do something that I think is very important. We're going to restore free speech, and we will really, truly restore. We're going to fix our elections so that our elections are going to be honorable and honest, and people leave and they know their vote is counted. We are going to have free and fair elections. And ideally, we go to paper ballots, same-day voting, proof of citizenship, very big, and voter ID. Very simple. Very simple. One-day voting, one day. You ever see these things? You know, everyone's talking about November 5th. But forget November 5th. It starts on September 6th in various states, North Carolina, but various states, Delaware. It starts on November 6th, goes months and months voting. Why are those boxes being moved around? Why are those ballots being moved? Why are they not there? Sir, we're fixing the air conditioning of that particular room. It is so bad. It is so out of control. Everyone under President Trump will prosper. Every family will thrive. And Michigan manufacturing will dominate like never before. You're going to dominate like never before. But for that to happen this election day, you must tell Comrade Kamala, Comrade, you're doing a horrible job. You've been a terrible vice president, a horrible, horrible border czar. You're not a border czar. You're a border patsy. You were played by every country in the world. The worst job we've ever seen, probably the worst vice president we've ever had. He certainly was the worst president. Comrade Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's amazing they can have support. I don't get it. Who would support somebody that wants open borders? Who would support somebody that wants men in women's sports? You see the boxing in the Olympics? Two transitioned people. They transitioned from men to women, did you see? Fighting a young, beautiful Italian boxer, top boxer. They thought big things from her. And then, bing, a left jab, just a jab. She go, whoa, what? I just got hit with a horse. Again, bing. She said, I'm out. She quit. She couldn't take it. 2 punches.
Oh, hell.
The second one, likewise, got into the ring with a couple of very talented women, just beat the hell out of them. They both won the gold medal. Shockingly. Are you shocked? You're not shocked, huh? In fact, you would have bet everything. You would have bet 100%. The odds were pretty good, right? And then you have people like Kamala. How about weightlifting? Weightlifting record set many years ago. They'd put 1/8 of an ounce on each side. 18-year-old record. They go out there. They're strong women. They can't quite make it, though. Guy comes out. Have you lifted before? No, no. How do I do it? Just put your hands in the bar and try and look at it. You mean like this? Oh, they beat it by like hundreds of pounds. The whole thing is crazy. And nobody wants to complain. You know, the women, like the swimmers, they don't like to complain. They're really afraid to complain because they'll be accused of bad things. But look at the swimmers. They come out, they're Olympic swimmers, and they look left, they look right. They see people that they were growing up with, great swimmers, and then they look over and they see this huge. It was Wilt Chamberlain, but slightly bigger. And she says, well, look at the size of this person. I don't recognize the person from California, from the California swim groups that I participated in for 10 years before I got to the Olympic trials. And this person blew them away. In fact, it was very sad. They got past so fast. The wind was so tremendous that she suffered wind burns. They had to take her out of the pool. All right. Now we joke about very serious subjects. I mean, it's so sad. But really what's sad is that people that would want something like that, and it's so demeaning to women, right? Don't you think it's so demeaning to women? We love women. That's so demeaning to women. Never had anything like it, but you have to watch the fights. It just says it. It says it so simply. You watch these two fights, it was like they didn't even have to do anything. Olympic gold. They won Olympic gold. They transitioned. So get your friends, get your family, register, volunteer, and get out, and you got to vote. And Pete, you are doing a great job, by the way. I see you sitting there. You are doing a great job. Pete Hoekstra. I'm glad I remembered to introduce him. He would have quit just before the election. He's doing it. We're doing good, right? Yeah, he was a great congressman. He was the one we earmarked, right? job. We appreciate it. Save our economy. We'll rescue our middle class. We'll put America first, and we will make America great again. We're going to make America greater than ever before. We're going to bring back your car industry. We're not going to just keep it a little bit that you have left. You lost most of your industry. We're going to bring back your car industry. We're going to let them build plants, but they're not building them in Mexico. They're going to build them in the United States of America. And they're going to be fired up by our auto workers. And we're going to bring them back in numbers that nobody can believe, and I can do it so easily. We were all set to do it, and then we had the COVID disaster come in from, and we did a great job, never got the credit for it, the ventilators, the therapeutics that we did, the robes, the goggles, everything. But what China did was very bad, very bad. But we're going to bring it all back to this state. You're going to have the greatest state in the world for automaking. You're coming back with automaking because that's what you do and that's what you do best. And a lot of these people, even if it's just job related, auto worker related, this is what they want to do. And they want to be here. They don't want to have to move. But you're not going to have any place to move because other jobs are going to be gone too. They're taking away all our jobs. We're not going to let it happen. We're going to make America great. We're going to make America the production capital, manufacturing capital of the world, and it's going to happen very fast. I hope you're going to go out and vote for me because honestly, if you don't, our country is finished. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you, everybody.
All righty, y'all. All right, so we got Donald Trump in Pottersville, Michigan. He said upon taking office, he is going to restore the auto industry. He said he's going to drill, baby, drill, get these energy costs under control, and make sure that the American people have jobs that's actually going to allow them to live. This is what came out of his own mouth. While this is going on, I got I guess we call X. He ain't found a name to replace Twitter yet. From a source saying McDonald's corporate confirms that they have no record of vice president ever working for them. Now, this is what's being reported on X. Is that McDonald's says they have no record of our current vice president ever being an employee. That's what's being reported. If I get any more information on that, I will let y'all know. All right, y'all. We'll go ahead and wrap this up because again, we will be coming back this evening for the interview with our current Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, current Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, that will be on CNN with Dana Bash. So that is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock. We're gonna come on a couple minutes before, just to get everybody up to speed and give people time to come in and get settled. So I'll be on about 8:45ish. So I'm about to go make dinner real quick and get all of that out the way. And I will see y'all at 9 o'clock. Again, Eric, I do appreciate you for the support with the super sticker. I do appreciate everyone else coming through and hanging out with us, especially with our impromptu drop by on VB Israel. From my understanding, he will be joining us for the interview tonight. We will have question and answer session after the interview. So be looking forward to that. If you have any questions, anything you want to discuss, be ready when I drop the link. Until then, I will see y'all later. Again, I do appreciate you coming through. Bye.